Hello friends, let's continue this practical for fetching the records as well as to update the records. Now before going for the fetching of a record, we need to understand some of the key concepts about collections. Now what are these collections? So collections are nothing but they are specialized classes for data storage and retrieval. Now collection classes serves various purposes such as allocating memory, but should be dynamically. Then it accesses the list of items on the basis of an index. So this is the collection. Now we need to see another concept, that is concept of array list. So we know what is an array. Like array is a collection of homogeneous elements. So here array list is again an ordered list of collection of an object. But here the difference between array list and array is that we can allocate the memory for an object dynamically. Now, like an array, we can add or remove items from the list, and the array resizes itself automatically. Now, the another important concept that you have to use is enumerable. Now, it is first of all an interface that facilitates the use of for each statement to iterate through a set of data. So these concepts we have to see before fetching a record. So let's continue with the practical. Now here let's come back to the DLL, where we have an employee class where we have written insert function in the previous practical, as well as we written the delete employee function. I'll add a function for fetching the record. So public, I'll give the data type array list. Now this array list will come only when you are importing this system.collection package, or you can say the namespace. Then only you'll find this array list. Now public array list, I'll give the name fetch employee. Now for fetching a specific employee, we need to have emp id. I'll begin with try catch block. Now let's take some variables, then array list, then we require SQL data reader. Now this data reader object we need to just, if you want to fetch some record from the database, we require this data reader. So I'm just declaring this two variables. Now just call this get connection. Now we have cmd equals to new SQL command, where we can call the procedure. So initially we haven't created the procedure, so I'll give this name for the procedure as fetch employee and pass the connection object. Then cmd dot command type, command text equals to command type dot store procedure. Then then should be command type. Then we can have a parameter cmd dot parameters dot add. Let's give the procedure parameter as emp employee id, its data type b, skill tb type dot integer dot value equals to the parameter that we are passing, its employee id. Then we require only one parameter for this fetching of record. Now we require to open the connection first, so con dot open the connection, then dr equals to, now here we are using method execute reader of a command object. Now we can just fetch the record by using while loop, while dr dot read just use instantiate your array list and add the elements in the array list. So add the data that we are fetching from the data reader. So it will be, let's say, toString. So this dir of zeros means whatever the column that we are fetching through the query, that will be the index number. Like if we are fetching the record, select emp name from the table. So this emp name means it's a 0th index or the first column in that particular query. This is over. Now just close all the connections, like dr.close, con.close, and just return the things like here I am returning AR. Now here I'll set AR equals to null. If it throws an exception, we'll assign the null value over here. Now this is my fetch employee function. And the next thing is, you can also write an update function. So update function will be similar to, like, let's say we have a delete employee function. I'm just copying this code and paste it here. So next function I'll change it to update employee, but here we need to pass both the parameters. So this will be employee name. So I'm creating the procedure with update employee, and I require one more parameter, that could be employee name. Its data type should be varchar, should be employee name. will change it to updated. So this is my update function also. So all these functions are ready in the DLL. Just build that DLL. So build is successfully completed. Now the next step is we need to create the procedures. Let's create the procedure for fetching the record. Create procedure sp fetch employee, pass the parameter, just give the parameter employee ID. Let's set a type as numeric. As begin, select employee name from employee where emp id equals to the right employee id, and let's execute this procedure. So the command is executed successfully. Similarly, create the procedure for update employee, but here we require two parameters at the rate employee name varchar 50. Now here query will be changed to update employee set employee name equals to employee name where employee ID equals to employee ID. So this is my update procedure executed. So this name should be same as that the name that we are given in your DLL. This procedure is ready, and let's verify whether you have some records in your database. So we have a couple of records here. Let's execute this. Now before that, I'll need to create a web page also. So I'm adding one web form. Let's give the name as employee search update. So we are performing both the things in the same application. So this is a form. So let's design the form. I'm using the same design layout of, let's say, this one. Just copying the same content of an insert. So here I have emp id, emp name, and let's change the name here to search. Search. We'll take one more button here in the same. Let's give the button name as built-in update. And one more thing we can do here in the DLL, after updating the employee, we can also call the function fetch employee with the parameter emp id, so that it will immediately show you the updated employee name. So this we have added in the update employee for DLL. Now coming back to your ASP.NET page, we have this. Let's see the design view. We have this design. So just double click on this search button. Now here we need to import a namespace using system.collection and as well as using employee DLL that we have given the reference in the previous practical. So here we have added the reference. Now the next thing is just create the object of that particular class in the DLL. So I'm creating the object equals to new employee. Now we require array list as the return type of that method, fetch method, is an array list. So here in order to get that elements from an array list, I'm using enumerable. So just I'm giving enumerable as initializing as null. Now here on search, let's call ar equals to obj.fetch employees. Now here I'm passing the parameter the text box value. Convert dot to integer first text box value txt.text. Now once you're calling this method with the parameter text box value, it will be went to that particular DLL and it will take the data from the procedure and it will return that entire object into AR. Now let's check if AR is not equals to null, then you need to just fetch that record from AR into a second text box equals to obj1 dot, let's make it a toString. So whatever the name of that particular employee will be fetched into that text box, else just display on the label sorry, no records. This is my fetch function. We are calling the fetch function. Now same case for the update. Let's come back to the update button. Just double click and you can just normally call as its return type is string. So lbuild.text equals to obj.update employee, but here we need to pass two parameters, txt employee ID, first text box value and second text box value. So on the update button we are calling the update function. Now let's execute our page. Let's see the result. In browser, let's search the employee 101. Search. So you have this employee name. I'm just updating with the name. Let's say key.sync. Let's update it. We'll see this successfully updated and the record is updated. If you want to see in the database, let's go in the database. Just execute this, you'll find the updated record. So that's it. Thank you.